Alright, you ever just feel freaky and you say, oh, I'm gonna play marathon. All of it. All 3 games. I'm gonna read everything aloud. I'm gonna feel bad when everything sucks. So Marathon was ported to modern systems by not Bungie, but LF1. Just some random people. And then it was brought to Steam because Bungie doesn't give a shit about the IP anyways. Except now they're reviving it. And now it's on Steam because Marathon came back, I think. So that's something. Too early in the existence of this series to even have FMVs. So I switched the HUD to this one because I can. Okay. So you'll notice that this game is actually doomed to run at whatever frame rate this is. Just fine. At all? Okay. UESC Marathon. Message to all Marathon terminals. Marathon emergency systems broadcast. Today at 0820 hours. The Marathon came under surprise attack from unknown hostile forces. The Marathon has sustained serious damage. At 0830 hours, alien forces boarded the Marathon. The current situation is dire. All personnel are required to arm themselves and fight for their lives. Posted 2794.7.3.14.08.39. Incoming message from Leela. Welcome to the Marathon. I am Leela, one of the 2 surviving... Of course, it is the arrow keys. I remember now. I'm Leela, one of the 2 surviving artificial intelligences aboard the Marathon. I have been severely damaged, and I'm working to understand the current situation. Find the teleport terminal located in the hangar's control room. By that time, I should have a better idea of what's going on. End message. This is where you are now. From here, you can explore the rest of the hangar area, although not all of the doors on the level are functioning. There is a pattern buffer at this location. There's a jump pad at this location. Activate the terminal to leave the hangar area. I expect you to take notes, by the way. They do. Where I am. Pattern buffer. Pattern buffer is how you save, by the way. There you go. Hypothetically, there is a button for the map. Not that I know what it is. Could be tab, yeah. You'll realize... No. You can't actually dual wield. There is a software mode, but it's kind of like... What is this, right? Should I play with scan lines? The software render is almost better. In fact, I'll play with the software render. Okay. Wow. Truly, this is gaming. Mm-hmm. Oh goodness. So yeah, you can't actually reload until your gun is completely empty, which is kind of funny. Pattern buffer no good. Or no, I already saved. It's just the feedbacks in the top left of the screen. You can barely even see it. Now you get level design like this. It's like even worse than System Shock. It's kind of awesome. Like, what is this? Look at this guy over here. They showed this guy off in the trailer, and now he's even in the game. It's kind of pathetic. Like, why? They made this remake, and now Can't even see like the enemy guy, the like iconic, whatever the hell his name is. I don't even remember. Secretly, there's only one way through here. But you love level design. My goodness. You tell me something? Is this a lift? What do you know? Something about this game that really just makes you sick. It's a real like headache generator of a game. Most of these just go back, I think. I mean, this is different. Right? God, aiming in here is just nightmarish. Oh. Like any vertical look just hurts. Like you could just do this and it would almost be better because looking vertically just hurts so bad. Yeah? Okay. Hmm. Truly, this is incredible. Unauthorized access alarm 2521 security breached. Sequence of characters. There's bold. Wow. 4A80 is in bold. Fire and aspects of the theory are as follows. Each society has some controlling force or forces which decide its direction, but the relationships in society are arbitrary. Humanity can relate to money, machines, neighbors, anything, really. Logical reset. Individual character and personality are preserved in stories, movies, ROM personalities, etc. Although individual expression is a universal ability, individual freedom is constrained by the society. See attached figure. Logical reset. Spurious interrupt. Breach disabled. Further access denied. Breach location undetermined. I don't know what that even... Just like have a through line. What does it mean? What are they trying to get out of this? Do you have a PhD in order to understand what this means? Can you even read this on your screen? I think this is like Metal Gear. They're talking about memes. What if I told you that Metal Gear and... Is this just the way back? It used to be. Yeah, just extra supplies. Oh, that's convenient. Come on. The Metal Gear and Marathon have thematic through lines. Let me in. I think it's just that this... Yeah, it just fucking takes 8 years to move again. It's ridiculous. That's right. Healing stations are like that. I hear him. Oh yeah, from there. Well, one way to go. That is also a way back. Okay. Message. Incoming message from Leela. All of the information that I have gathered so far indicates that the alien invasion on the Marathon has been relatively uncoordinated. I suspect that this is partially due to the Marathon's large size. However disorderly the alien invasion is, their assault of the computer net has been extremely effective. I detect security breaches in almost every computer system on board the Marathon. I have learned that there is an alien creature that is capable of interfacing with our systems. You must kill any of these creatures that you find. It is a priority that we stop them. Even now, they are penetrating my defenses. Teleport now. End message. Jump pad activation initiation start. Transport when ready. And then you transport. That's loading. And the map is called Bigger Guns Nearby. All the maps have funny names like that. Incoming message from Leela. I am now in contact with a number of colonists planetside, but their reports on the situation below are conflicting and obviously exaggerated. The primary medium-range radio antenna has been disabled or destroyed, which makes communication extremely difficult. The only thing which seems clear is that the spaceport was obliterated by low-yield nuclear weapons minutes after the attack on the Marathon began. This I can verify through my own optical instruments. The invaders seem to be more interested in the Marathon than the colony, at least in the short term. The motives behind their unprovoked attack are still unknown, however. This is the computer terminal you are using now. I cannot teleport you out of this section from here, so you'll have to leave from another terminal after you find the assault rifle. There is an M75 assault rifle / grenade launcher and ammunition at this location. When firing on the fully automatic setting, this weapon is highly inaccurate, but the grenades hit hard, and it's the best we can do right now. Ammunition may be scarce for a while, so be prepared to fall back to your pistol. Here is the terminal you must reach to leave this section. Alien infiltration in this area is high. Proceed with caution. You may find doors blocked or stairways retracted on the way because the AI in control of these functions is damaged and behaving erratically. You'll never know what the name of the AI that opens doors. You'll never know their name. Never. Look, it's just like the original Halo, where each of the alien types have a certain color to indicate their rank. Wow. Their achievements, that's crazy. I didn't know. You have a radio, that motion detector in the bottom left. It's very small on this screen. But it does work, but it only works when things move, and frequently when you are not near an enemy. They won't move, so it's kind of useless. But it is what it is. Holy cow. See anything yet? We're good. My goodness, this game is really, really sickening to play. I played about a third of this game already so far. I mean, not in this playthrough, mind you. I've already played a third of the game on my own once upon a time. And then I read everything instead of actually playing it because I was like, wow, this is really, really hard to play without wanting to throw up everywhere. But now, I'm grown, and I do not care if I throw up all over my things. So, we're playing. Convenient of them to give you such a wide big room to show off the blue enemy that fires 2 balls instead of 1. I mean, instead of no balls, really. Wow, so green bum rushes you, pink bum rushes you, but has more health. Red shoots once, and blue shoots twice. Well, hey, what's that? Like that I can get up there. Can I? No. Well, we'll find our way over. I don't know. For as hideous a game as this is, there are elements of its design that are kind of aspirational, you know? It's like System Shock, where you're like, well, this sucks, but also, I can see what they were doing, and it's almost great. Almost. Except for the part where it's not very good. But hey, it's Marathon. At least on the Mac in the year of our Lord, whatever the hell. It's pretty good for what it is. I vaguely remember at some point in this game it starts spawning enemies behind you. And it's kind of annoying. But it is just a thing. It might have been around here. Sounds like 3 guys directly behind you. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, they're behind you. I'm going to die. Well, I lived. Unauthorized access, alarm 2521, security breached 2362D, 12.53.2117.42. Marathon Internal Engineering Documents, Section 1C, Appendix H, Subject Doors, by Estacia Orestes, Dominic I. Placar, and Ursa Simbalzi. Date 2402.03.23.16.42. There are 5 basic door designs to be used on the Marathon. 1. Outer bulkhead doors. 2. Airlock doors. 3. Inner bulkhead doors. 4. Tertiary or inner sealed non-vacuum safe doors. 5. Quaternary or inner powered automatic opening doors. Direct control of all doors except the tertiary and quaternary doors will be given to Durandal, with indirect control of all other doors going to Durandal. Door handle. The difference between direct and indirect control primarily has to do with the manner of opening the doors. Durandal will only open a directly controlled door when he is specifically asked to do so. Indirectly controlled doors are automatically controlled by Durandal to open when needed. However, due to the expense involved with adding thermal and visual spectrum sensors to the tertiary and quaternary door groups, these doors will remain minimally used. The expected savings of not using this extrasensory input is the expected savings of not using this extrasensory input is estimated to be 57% of the base cost of the basic inner bulkhead door. The types of doors are all basically the same, with some slight variations. The door in classes 1 and 3 are the same doors classified separately to distinguish between the level of safety checking required to assure acceptable leakage. The airlock doors are specifically modified to work with manual and remote activation switches. Airlocks are all to be marked with a specific airlock symbol and to be outfitted with an air recharge system. The tertiary and quaternary doors are designed exactly as the bulkhead doors, but are checked coarsely for air leakage. This article, as well as articles 530F and 532G on windows and elevators respectively, will be placed for public access in the Marathon Internal Engineering Documents Section 1C Appendix H. Spurious interrupt, breach disabled, further access denied. Alert, security breach at terminal 2362D 12.53.2111.42. That's here. So there you go, we're introduced to an AI named Durandal, whose entire job is to fuck with doors. Incoming message from Leela. The Marathon's automated defenses were disabled during the initial attack by a directed magnetic pulse. Also, you're supposed to put together here that the AI Durandal, there's something wrong with them that's causing the doors to be mishandled. The aliens used the same weapon to disable the Marathon. Okay. The Marathon's automated defenses were disabled during the initial attack by a directed magnetic pulse. The aliens used the same weapon to disable the Marathon's other two AIs, Durandal and Tycho, and to severely damage myself. Durandal is responsible for controlling the ship's autonomous functions, doors, life support, kitchens, air reprocessors, stairs, and so on. Because he is non-functional, I am working to assume as many of the tasks as possible. Tycho controls the science and engineering network. Now that you're better armed, our first priority is to reactivate the Marathon's defenses under my control so that we may offer some resistance to the aliens. I have built 3 replacement circuit boards for the defense system, but cannot move them from the manufacturing center without assistance. I will now transport you to receive the replacement parts, and will give you further instructions when you arrive. End of message. Jump pad activation. Initiation start. Transport when ready. Yes. Current time is 10:27. I have maybe 30 minutes before I want to scoot. I'm also about to die. Incoming message from Leela. The Marathon's automatic manufacturing systems have finished making replacement circuits. There are 3 circuits. Each should be in its manufacturing holding chamber. With luck, the alien viruses have not infiltrated the manufacturing systems, but even if they had, I would have no way of knowing. The attacks on my systems are growing more steady. If the counterattack is not able to remove some of the computer infiltrators, then I will eventually succumb. It is absolutely imperative that a counterattack begin as soon as possible. The Marathon is not defenseless, and we can't let it be taken without a fight. This is where the circuit should be. Look at all the receptacle lockers. Yes. There is a pattern buffer located next to the current location and suggest that you use it immediately. After you've retrieved the circuits, return to the terminal at this location, and I will transport you to the defense center to install them. So we are given our first real mission. Oh shit. I'm dead. Okay. What's killing me? Oh, so someone crept on behind me again. I'm dying. I'm dying. Goodness me. Got fucked up by a bug. I need to lock in. Okay. I will not die this time. Huh? We're good. Yeah, we're good. Okay. I may wonder, what are these? Literally nothing. Ah yes, the Super Crusher. Just in case you haven't picked up a gun yet. I don't have that much in the way of ammo, but I'll take it. Okay. Well, yes, please. Sometimes these are finicky. As in... I think those might be unlimited heals, but you have to like, they're like pretty rare to come across. Or not rare, rather you need to find them first. Please. Okay. One. Well, good for me. There should be some more around here. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Automatic manufacturing system transfer 5992P delayed. Repeats that, what, 7 times? No. 6. Transfer cancelled. AMS transport system error. Cause unknown. Transport materials on inter-transfer counter. Message from Leela. I was afraid this would happen. You'll have to go to the manufacturing transport station to get the last circuit board. Collect the 2 circuit boards that were transferred and then go to the transport station. Take the elevator here to access the main processor tunnel. You should find the 3rd chip intact on the transport station. There was a failure of the final transporter conductor. End message. Alert security breach at 40.638.49.993. Now you'll wonder, where the hell was that? It doesn't exactly make that clear. What are you gonna do? What about it? Nothing. Ammo. This opens up later, I think. Wait, there's some stuff down there, I think. Let's go back down. Yeah. No, I guess it's just a through hole. Just look through it. Here. The times where it's kind of dark, and the motion sensor will kind of help there because you'll be able to see a little bit further ahead when you look down. But it still sucks. You still want to pick enemies that don't move until they're about to kill you. Case in point. That's all of them. Warning, Core OS AF44 plus 2DEB mod date later than current date / time. FFX. Here was nothing to be gained from hesitation now. Huh? If in her possession it would become something of consequence, though it was nothing more than a simple verticular flower, or more precise, than she had it just so the room flickered and tore, bending into somewhere else. System error at 25 at Jackson, which she caused to be consumed by an ashless fire. Doors opened before her without cause, their locks rusted and shattered. Her slender hands began to dance in front of her horrified face, her fur turning into a fine powder which settled in a pile on where she had been standing. 14,700 miles away, eyes on fire, tearing at her hair. Turning in fury, she kicked viciously. The anger made her careless, and she misfired. Oh boy. You be living and then it's like, go do the dishes. Now. And well, you don't just, refuse the now. So, I'm so good. Oh. Okay. Okay, buddy. Let me down though. Message from Leela. Good job. I've received reports from some human security forces. They agree that the aliens are concentrating on the aft engineering section. I would conjecture that they will try to shut down the Marathon's reactors. Your next mission will be to put the automatic defenses online. I'll give you exact information when you arrive. Teleport when ready. End message. Jump pad activation initiation start. Transport when ready. Oh boy. Transport when ready. Incoming message from Leela. I have received a preliminary report from some members of the science staff who have finished post-mortem examinations on 3 kinds of aliens. They report that by modern genealogical standards, the different aliens belong to different species. I've been collecting as much information as I can and will give you a report shortly. I've established contact with Durandal for the first time since the attack. He seems to have sustained less damage than I'd previously suspected. Durandal reports that he has been in communication with the aliens. He says that the aliens behind the invasion call themselves the Four, and that the ones attacking the computer are called the Svut. But he was reluctant to share the details of his communication, and I cannot understand this. Your mission here is rather simple. You must insert the circuit in the defense control terminals. This is your current location. There is a shield recharge in the access control room. Here is a supply room with a large supply of ammunition and weapons. You should stop in this room. This is the defense control center. Hopefully the new control circuits will work. Place one in the terminal at this location. This is where you place the second one and the final location. Good luck and message. Okay. With luck, they'll have put a save station nearby. Well... Was Durandal trying to kill me? How slow does this thing have to move? Oh boy, it's going back down. Oh boy, I'm pausing it. Oh boy, I've been standing here with this door hitting my skull for the last fucking 5 minutes. Please, let me out of here. Now it's gonna start moving again. Oh no. Back up. Oh, please. I'll kill myself. Come on. Oh yes, I did have to replay this entire section. How could you tell? Bad chance. Ah. Oh no, is it here? No, there's just weapons in here. Okay. Save. Nice. Of course, no new weapons. That's very good for us. Now we have tons and tons and tons of ammo. Isn't this gameplay awesome? I do think there's quite a bit of enemy infighting that occurs in this game. I think there's some funny stuff that can happen. But you don't see that for a while. For most part, it's just enemies can hit each other with their projectiles. So I can play Doom. I wonder what this game was inspired. I looked at my radar at exactly the right time. I suppose that's why they included the motion detection in the first place, because sometimes you just can't see an enemy until it's up your butt. I suppose this is where they got the games. Marathons. I mean, the remake, the remaster, whatever the hell. The crazy color scheme from... Right? It's gonna be lore. Unauthorized access alarm 2521. Security breach 24S 34.492.95.79. Search heading rampancy. Search found 264995 headings. Remove redundancies. File 1 of 1940237. It is a side effect of rampancy that AIs generally become more aggressive and more difficult to affect by subterfuge. Thus, actually disassembling a rampant AI is quite dangerous. This was evident in the crash of Traxxas 4 in 2206. By the time the rampancy of Traxxas was detected, he had already infiltrated 5 of the other AIs on the Martian net. The only recourse for the Martians was to shut down the Martian planetary net. Even then, it took 2 full years to completely root out the damage that Traxxas had done, and the repercussions of the crash were seen for over 10 years after his rampancy had begun. Rampancy has been divided into 3 distinct stages. Each stage can take a different amount of time to develop, but the end result is a steady progression towards greater intellectual activity and an acceleration of destructive impulses. It is not clear whether these impulses are due to the growth of the AI psyche or simply a side effect of the new intellectual activity. Section abbreviated. The 3 stages were diagnosed shortly after the first rampancies were first discovered on Earth in the latter part of the 21st century. The stages are titled after the primary emotional bent of the AI during each stage. They are melancholia, anger, and jealousy. In general, rampancy is accelerated by outside stimuli. This was discovered early in cybertonics. The more a rampant AI is harassed or threatened, the more rapidly it becomes dangerous. Thus, most rampants are dealt with in one mighty attack, in order to deny the AI time to grow or recover. There have been a few examples of this tactic not succeeding. In all of these cases, the rampant was never brought under control. Traxxas 4 is the most notable example. He was finally dealt with by a complete shutdown of his host net. Theoretically, testing rampancy should be easily accomplished in the laboratory, but in fact it has never successfully been attempted. The confinement of the laboratory makes it impossible for the developing rampant AI to survive, as the growing recursive programs expand with exponential vivacity, and the limitation negatively hampers growth. Since rampant AIs need a planetary-sized network of computers in order to grow, it is not feasible to expect anyone to sacrifice a world web just to test a theory. In the 250 years since rampancy first appeared on the EarthNet, the stable rampant AI, the holy grail of cybertonics, has never come close to fruition. Since no rampant has ever been controlled or turned to any useful purpose, it is the opinion of this writer and the majority of the cybertonic community that all rampant AIs are a danger to cyberlife, liberty, and the pursuit of thrashedness. James B. Miller, 2320, Life and Death of Intelligence. Unauthorized access alarm 2521. Security breached 42S 34.492.95.79. Don't you love reading logs? Love it almost as much as staring at the auto map. Incoming message from Leela. I've summarized all of the information that I have gathered on the aliens so far. Begin report 495991. 4 are generally thinner and lighter than humans and are superbly adapted for low-gravity environments. Durandal told me that there are many clans of 4, each physically distinct from each other, but my summary only includes 2 of them. Only 2 clans of the 4 have been examined. The fighter carries a shock staff, which is capable of attacking at different settings. The trooper is armored for vacuum conditions and carries a combination explosive and impact projectile weapon, which is similar to your AR-75. The 4 seem to have enslaved a number of other races. The Hulk is an enormous and rather slow creature, but it is incredibly strong. The science report indicated that it had no body fat and therefore had to be fed often to keep it active. One crew member reported seeing one of these creatures pointing to itself and mumbling, "Driniol," right before it picked Johnny up by the shirt and crushed him against a pillar. The science staff had difficulty finding a good specimen of the Sphit, or compiler, to autopsy. The only specimen autopsied was almost completely destroyed, but it was obvious that the compilers are cyborgs of some kind. The biological component of the compiler is so closely linked to the machine that it could never survive without it. The compiler's actual body is very small, resembling closely a mammalian brain, except that the neurons are much finer and far more complex. End of report. End of message. That's what they're called, compilers. Or SFIT, whatever you want to call them. Just you wait until we see the invisible enemies. Oh boy. Oh, it's this one. I hate this one. This is such a great puzzle. Right. Okay. What was that about? Oh no. This one's infamous. I think this is supposed to be somewhat infamous. If I'm lucky, I might be able to use, yeah, that old thing where your step is pretty goddamn big, so you can just kind of walk over certain gaps if you're fast. Yep. This is not a trap. No. Incoming message from Leela. You have not completed your mission. You must replace all of the circuits. With every passing moment, the opportunity for us to counterattack is fading. End message. Well, how do I get through this hellhole? What? And not even a save point. Ow. Easy enough. Incoming message from Leela. Well done. I have detected defense drones activating all over the ship. Reports from security forces are jubilant. Now the four will encounter stiff resistance and they'll have to pay in blood for every move. The colony appears to be under attack. I detected 7 4 dropships entering the atmosphere only 2 minutes ago. Only minutes ago. Trajectory. Why does it think 2? What? 7 4 drop? I don't even know. Trajectory analysis indicates that the ships were heading for the outskirts of the colony. Shortly thereafter, I lost communications with the colony. Something has come to my attention. I'll inform you after you teleport. Teleport now. End message. Jump pad activation initiation start. Transport when ready. Security channel open. Defense priority 120F. Incoming message from Leela. I have some bad news. Durandal has gone rampant, and he is in the angry stage. This explains how Durandal was able to communicate with the Four in the Sphit, while I have not. Theoretically, the Marathon computer net is not big enough to sustain rapid growth for very long. This means that as Durandal grows into the computer net, he'll begin to affect all aspects of the ship, resulting in unpredictable failures of otherwise benign computer systems. I have teleported you here to make sure that Durandal cannot gain access to a vital section of the ship. There are a series of control switches that you'll need to activate to block his access. This is where you are now. Study the map so you can do this quickly. This here is the first of 3 switches that you'll need to activate. Here's the second switch. This is the last switch. Be warned that the aliens have already entered this area. End message. What do you know? Is that enough? Better be. I'm about to die. Well, that's one. If I could find a healing station, though, it'd be very, very good. You know, I almost expected the maps to be worse. So far, they're like almost passable. They're like almost okay. Like you can more or less figure out where you are. If you pay attention. That being said, I am on a very short leash right now. I don't like that. They're just waiting for me. Healing ever was so nice. Wow. We're good. Shit. That must have been the gunners they were talking about. I almost expected this to be worse, from what I remembered. But this is like absolutely bearable. Maybe I'm just old. Like, you get into a corner like that, and you're like, ugh, I'm gonna throw up, but really it's okay. Oh, I think I've seen the whole of the map. Let's just hit that last thing. Unauthorized access alarm 2521, security breach 24F434.87.18.198, data transfer cohesion E3F04C, search string CRIST, C-R-I-S-T, the CRIST Soul Orbiters. The CRIST Soul Orbities, The CRIST Soul Orbiters, or cargo and resources in-system transports, were huge ships shaped like a hollow potato and designed to be able to move huge amounts of material between Earth and Mars with low cost and, theoretically, low maintenance. The system was simple. The CRIST was put into orbit around Sol on the plane of the ecliptic. Built with a powerful solar sail, the CRIST could change its orbit easily to pass by the Earth or Mars. Okay. On a flyby, materials could be loaded or offloaded. The energy used to accelerate or decelerate the materials would be supplied by the solar sail. Loading was accomplished with a giant tether and reel system, which would swing the material into orbit behind the CRIST and then reel it in slowly. Offloading was accomplished with a powerful ion beam which could pound the offloading material with a steady stream of ion particles. The design of the Christ was innovative and useful, but it was not low maintenance. Of the 5 Christs that were built, 4 lasted around 100 years, and the other one only 73 before they needed to be brought back to Earth and refitted. Each refitting took about 15 years and completely occupied the Earth space shipbuilding facility for that time. The result was that no more than 5 Christs could be kept in service at any time. No Christ was ever built after 2310. The Christ failures devastated Mars. As the first 5 Christs were built, Mars colony grew quickly, confident that the growth would continue. But then the source of Mars's resources failed. But when the source of Mars's resources failed, the colony found that it had overgrown its supportable size, and extreme poverty struck most of the population. Each time that a Christ broke down, the result was famine on Mars. The conversion of Deimos into the Marathon began when the Mars colony was at the height of its power. By the time it was completed, 64 years later, the decline of Mars was well advanced. During that time, the Martian population had seen its standard of living drop by 80%. On top of oppressive poverty, Martians saw one of their moons being converted to a colony ship in an expensive and risky colony venture which was predominantly funded by a ruling foreign power. The argument to make the Marathon into a Christ became more and more popular, but the UESC never seriously considered this an option. The farther that Mars sank into the depths of poverty, the more that the Marathon became a symbol for the oppression of the Martian people. The declining Martian world. After the Marathon left Mars, the UESC's attentions focused primarily on technological development and the upkeep of the Christs. Mars was left to decay. Population continued to increase as attempts at mandating abortion or sterilization always started revolt. Serious interrupt. Breach disabled. Further access denied. Access denied. Access denied. Access denied. Well, the Marathon is actually made from Deimos, and also is the product of the failing Mars economy. Lore. Well, I've already done it all, so now I just have to figure out where the hell I'm going. Where am I going? I probably want to wrap up in a second here. Already activated that. And I went this way. I should really turn the music up a bit. Music isn't bad at all, it's just there. I turned it way down, it's at like 40%, but it seems to have erased it basically. Ah, this is new. Ah. Any precision. Ow, God. These rocket guys are no joke. Where'd he go? He's gone. Guess I killed him. I guess... I don't know. Oops. I think Marathon was unique for the time, at least, in that you could aim up and down a little bit. So you would just look in a direction and auto-aim, you'd have to actually point. And also, I think Marathon was kind of well known for being a pioneer of like the WASD layout. One of them. But that's not my area of expertise, I wouldn't know. I guess I could have stopped there. What the hell? could go down and grab some of those supplies. I assume that's a lift. Oh, why not? What do you know? I don't have that kind of accuracy. God, these guys can hit so bad when they want to. Okay. And the entire game about to die. I'd like that second pistol. That'd be pretty good. Kind of an in-joke that Marathon did dual wield at first. Oh shit. That's that managed. And that's the area clear. Okay. Let's get the hell out of here. Maybe it can take me a good sleep for tomorrow. That's marathon lore for you. I'm telling you, there's a lot going on in this world that isn't going to be nearly as visible in the remake. Message from Leela. Durandal has been denied access to some of the critical computer systems. This should ensure the mobility and reliability of the defense drones. Unfortunately, I have received a distress signal from some crew who had sealed themselves off in one of the nearby access areas. They say that they have lost control over the doors and elevators on the level, and that the four have access to the area. It appears that Durandal has reacted to our move against him by giving the four access to a formerly secure area. We'll have to deal with Durandal sooner or later, but we can't be distracted from the four attack. I only hope that his rampant behavior won't continually sabotage our defense efforts. I'm sending you to go and save these crew. Clear the area of aliens. If enough of the crew survive, then perhaps we can get an intelligence report from them. End message. Jump pad activation initiation start. Transport when ready. I'd like to save. Why does the auto map have noise? Incoming message from Leela. Your mission here is simple. Keep as many humans as possible from being killed. Exterminate every alien in the area. You can only leave after the area is secure. There are some defense drones in the area, but I'm not sure what condition they're in or how much help they'll be. This is your current location. There are crew engaged in combat right next to your current position. Use the pattern buffer at this location as soon as possible. You can leave by this terminal when you've secured the area. And they need it. I think it's fairly agreed upon that these guys aren't really supposed to live. They kind of just run around and die. Sadly. But one may want to know where exactly this pattern buffer is. Did I miss something? What the hell? Grenades really do help sometimes. Oh shit. I don't know if it's doing any damage. Well, that worked. Didn't even do anything. Oh, there it is. I've done as I've been asked. And now I will save some people from certain demise. Yeah, maybe this is like, oh? What are you doing here? Oops. I too like to waste my grenades. All the humans are dead. Oh no. I don't think you gain anything from anybody living. But, send me the time. No, was it not paused? Am I silly? Hold on. Yeah, okay. I literally did just walk away. Whoopsie daisy. I'll fix that later. It's not a big problem. The real problem with this level, these guys just like to wander around a lot. I should have saved before we continue. Can't get up there. Well, I would like to take the lift down, actually. Okay. What is this? Just like the weirdest architecture in this game. I guess there's shortcuts and different routes and stuff. Maybe there's a better way to get through that entire section. It doesn't seem like there is one to me. If I can get down now. Please. Oh shit. Okay. Well, let's backtrack a bit and see what the other way holds. Oh, you're kidding me. Well, let's get that progress back. We are so back. I swear these guys are useless. I like these robots though. Nice sprites. No butt either. They got no butts. That's very sad. Well, I guess that means I've cleared out almost everything, except for maybe down this tube. Just an industrial smasher or something. What is this? You can only reload grenades if you empty your magazine. You can have more grenades than listed, but then isn't their goal to just run into danger? Oh shit. I killed him, man. Gameplay. Oops. That bodes ill. I think this is the last one. Okay, let's get this dude. What the hell? There's so many of these guys. Uh-oh. We'll be lucky if there's one guy living after this. What the hell? Infinite guy spawner, what's going on? Where'd the big guy go? Literally, where is he going? And why is his ass huge? Okay. Okay, I think I cleared everything out. And lived. And all these guys are standing here, in front of where I want to be. I hope that doesn't have any repercussions. It won't. Because I don't want more ammo. I don't want more ammo, I guess. I guess. Okay. Get out of here. They're everywhere. Well, I'll just skip. Alright, here we be. Save up. Incoming message from... Huh? Incoming message from Leela. You have allowed too many of the civilians to be killed. It is doubtful that any of the survivors will give us any useful information. The aliens seem to have been caught off guard by the strength of our counterattack. This is good news, but I've detected more ships landing on the Marathon, and I fear that the aliens are reinforcing their efforts. End of message. Jump pad activation initiation start. Transport when ready. I believe that you're intended to have ended up with too many dead dudes no matter what you do, so... This should be there. This should be what I think. Maybe if you're balling, you can save everyone and then have a wonderful time. But I doubt it. Can I save before I go on? Seems like this game's prerogative just to make you keep going places without anywhere to save. It's pretty nasty. And everyone seems to have... Purple. Gold? Well, that was more pink. Let's find somewhere to save. I'm a bit low, so I should be careful. Not to get my ass kicked. The ledges are making movement and you're really floaty. In a bad way. Whoa. Well, I saved. We should clear this out before I lose my life. Okay. So I'll tell you what, I'll stop here, and the next time we'll have tons and tons of marathon. Tons. Good luck, and goodbye.